What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Josh Reese back at it again with another video. So before we start, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe. And today we're going to talk about how you can beef up your graduate school resume. Specifically in my case for optometry, but you can apply it to just about anything so that you can make sure that your chances of getting into graduate school are the best they can be. Now, of course, a lot of people spend a lot of time, and even the admissions committees on these schools spend a lot of time looking at GPA and standardized test scores, but I'm gonna go ahead and not talk about those today, because really we all understand we want to be as above average as we can be on those, and it's okay if we're not. So I just say make sure study enough that you're at least get an average score on your standardized tests and have above a 3.0, and then what you do on your extracurriculars will make up for it, what you lack in GPA. So first thing I wanted to talk about is something that people, in my opinion, spend too much time fretting over, and that is shadowing hours. So really what shadowing is you just call up a professional and spend time with the professional while they're working. So for optometry, you just make sure you are by the doctor observing what an optometrist actually does, or what a PA or what a podiatrist or what a doctor does, right? So you just sit there, looking at their day-to-day for as many hours as they want. And some schools will require or suggest that you have a ridiculous amount of hours shadowing. Now, what I think is, yes, I want you to shadow, but don't get caught up in shadowing that you think you have an impressive resume because you shadowed 500 hours. Now that is impressive, but this is probably the least of the things you can do to make sure you're actually ready. You want to spend just enough time shadowing that it's the profession for you, but not enough time, you don't want to waste your life. And really, shadowing can be a waste of time if you already know that this is a profession you want to be in. So what I'd suggest shadowing at least 5 hours in 3 to 4 different places. So, you're not going to get the 50 or the 100 hours that some schools suggest you should do, but I think this shows the schools that what the profession's like, the diversity of the profession, but your time is valuable. I think the problem with having too much shadowing hours on your resume is that you kind of convey, I did this just for the resume. I did this just for you to accept me. And you want to be the kind of applicant that is confident and really that you're doing, you want to be here. You want to be a dentist. You want to be an optometrist. So I'd suggest, personally, I only shadowed 3 different places and maybe had a total of 20 shadowing hours. So, right, that's not a lot, right? That's below what everyone would have told me to do, but it was just enough that they knew I was, serious, right? 3 different optometrists, all kind of doing different things, right? One was your regular optometrist, one was one that specialized in vision development, vision therapy, and one was one that specialized in contact lenses. And so I kind of got a feel for the profession, and because of COVID, actually one of them was just over the phone. I just spent 2 or 3 hours with this optometrist over the phone talking about his profession, and honestly that was enough. That they didn't have any problems with that, they didn't have any questions for me. That was exactly what they were looking for in an applicant. So don't waste all your time shadowing when really you can be doing much more important things. The next thing I'd say for the beefiest application you can have is you want work hours in a like profession. Now, I know medical school and different schools like that, PA, will require clinical hours. So shadowing and working about the same thing. And now this is important. You want to have as many hours working as a related profession, as a clinical hours as you can. So what I'd suggest is don't put this off at all. Your freshman year of college, right? If you don't know what you want to be until your senior year of college, that's kind of rough. But as early as you can, apply to a job or two to just work a little bit every week. Now, personally, I worked at 2 different places. One as an optician, just fixing and selling glasses, and then the other as a vision therapist. Both of those actually came from those shadowing opportunities I had, those doctors I shadowed with. I eventually applied for jobs there and got positions there. And now the first one, I only worked about 2-3 days a week, maybe 10 hours total. And then the next one, I worked just about every day for maybe 16 hours a week. So, you don't have to try to kill your life, work full time, stop going to school to get clinical hours in. But I do want you to just get enough exposure that they know you're ready. And if you get a job your freshman year, work 5 to 10 hours a week in a clinical setting, that'll be enough clinical hours to get you in anywhere. So just get a job early on in what you want to do. I know so many people that focus on school their first 2 years of college, and really the time that they want to get clinical hours in, they are far behind in trying to work too much that their grades suffer. So I know that you don't want to miss out. Get clinical hours in as soon as you can. Get experience in the field, and honestly, that's way more valuable than shadowing, because your employer is going to be is going to be the person that you want to be in the future, and it's much easier to have real life dealings with someone such as an employer rather than just be sitting there watching them, asking them questions. Now, the next part is service. I want you to not go out of your way to do so many service opportunities, because this is honestly not important. It's just revealing. So you want to pick service opportunities that really set you apart. I know everybody, that's pre-optometry here at BYU has this thing called Friends for Sight. And it's a service opportunity where you volunteer at school screenings, and it's like pre-optometry kind of service. Now, yes, that'll look good, and that'll be like, they'll see, okay, you're interested in optometry, but we already kind of knew that about your shadowing and about your work experience. And on the optometry application, at least, your shadowing and work experience in the field went under the same column. So they're already going to know you're interested in your field. You don't have to, work at dental care places, service, things like that to try to get work-related, clinical-related service hours. You just want to serve in a way that's unique to you. So if you are interested in singing, right, work at to get service hours for a community choir that donates proceeds to someone. If you're interested in cultural studies, join a dance group that's a service group. You want just unique service in a church to show you're passionate about that service. They want to see that you're the kind of person that will be a giving and a caring, person, right? They want you to be the kind of doctor. They want you to be the kind of professional that will think about your patients and really care about the people you're serving. So just don't worry too much about service hours. but just serve regularly. It's not going to be one of those things like shadowing that you're going to try to get as many service hours in as you can right at the end. You just want to maybe pick one day a week and do a little bit of service throughout your whole college career. And I think that'll look so much better than if you try to rack in as many service hours as you can before you apply. So those are really the 3 things that I'd say will give your resume the biggest push: is shadowing, work experience, and service. Now beyond that, getting summa cum laude, getting valedictorian, different awards like that, they're going to be good to look at. But I'd say the most important things you can do for your application are make sure you're an outstanding person. Make sure you're the kind of person that they can see just by looking at your resume, before they read your essay, before they interview you, that you are a caring person, an intelligent person, someone who's community oriented, and really will be the best professional that you can be. So I just know that if you do these things, you will absolutely have a competitive resume. Now, you also want those letter of recommendations to be good, but they're going to be good if you've worked and if you've shadowed. You want to have a high GPA and a high standardized test score. But honestly, if they're average, if they're not low enough that they skip over your application, you're going to get in if you have the service and the work experience and really the resume to say, I will be a great applicant and a great benefit to your school. Now, if you agree with this, or if you want more content like this, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe again. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.